those that are new, my name is Kristen and I moved here to Nova Scotia from the UK in May 2021 with my husband and our 2 daughters, and we are slowly developing our 1 acre property into a mini homestead. Primarily we moved to Nova Scotia because we were working 3 jobs for a tiny house, tiny garden, and we couldn't be self-sufficient where we were. It wasn't a work-life balance.
Nope.
And we weren't able to be self-sufficient. We couldn't provide for ourselves. COVID hit, and we'd always wanted to be self-sufficient anyway, but I think it was just that nudge to do something else.
But COVID was the nail in the coffin, wasn't it? COVID,
Yeah.
we'd already made inquiries, and we'd already started
We'd looked for
looking
years.
at options. We were looking at changing places in our in the UK, moving from the south of the UK to the north and
or west or whatever.
or west, all that sort of stuff, and nothing really suited. When this job came up, it was perfect, wasn't it? It was fantastic.
Yep.
So then I've come to Nova Scotia. I'm going to be a podiatrist, and you were going to homestead.
Yeah. The only issue was when we got here, house prices went through the roof because of COVID.
Because everyone realised how wonderful Nova Scotia really is.
So we didn't have a huge amount of choice, and we didn't have a huge amount of time. We needed to just get started. And we found this property, and it's very quirky like us. So we're really pleased that we did find it. It's only an acre, so we're mini steading really.
Yep.
But actually we're managing to provide ourselves with a lot of food.
We just sacrifice our front lawn to the chickens and the meat chickens and rabbit tractors and stuff like that. We just don't have those lovely stripes in the lawn and stuff like that.
So when we moved here, there was no real infrastructure for animals. So straight away we got set to work building a coop within the shed, so we had somewhere to house the chickens at night. So you sacrifice the back third of the shed.
Yep.
And so the main project really was building the chicken run.
We had to get the buildings in, didn't we?
Yeah. And we just had a tunnel between the chicken run going into the shed until we could actually build the chicken coop.
Yeah, and so we sacrificed some of the shed, but that was fine because we didn't really have any belongings here or anything to put in the shed just yet. So, like, no tools, no equipment, no chainsaw, no nothing.
Yeah, because of COVID, everything was delayed, so we were actually living here until the week before Christmas without our belongings. So we were effectively camping. We were sleeping on the floor on a mattress that we'd bought here. So hence we couldn't do major prep before the snow hit because we didn't have our stuff.
And then once the snow had hit, oh my goodness, I've never seen snow like it. It was exciting and wonderful and stuff, but like snowbanks like 2, 3, 4 feet deep, you know, and there's pictures of Etty's like wading through 3 feet of snow to take the kitchen scraps out and stuff like that.
We absolutely love the snow, and actually I'm already looking forward to it for this winter. And most Nova Scotians think we're nuts because they've grown up with the snow, and it's a hassle to them. But I don't know. I prefer the snow from the black fly season. But we did get rabbits in the winter, and again we weren't prepared, so and we couldn't find the wire that we needed. So we started off with the cages in the shed hanging above the chickens, and then after that we then moved on. We decided we wanted more light for them, for breeding. They need light, so we then made rabbit hutches.
Yep.
And we literally got that out on skis as it was starting to snow. And we had our first litter of baby bunnies on New Year's Eve, which was lovely. All fluffy.
Yep, fluffy bunnies, and they've been a bit of a mainstay and quite a success actually.
Yeah.
Quite distinct a learning curve with fertility throughout the summer and breeding and stuff like that. And a few homesteader mistakes, I suppose.
Yeah.
Honesty.
One night the rabbit chewed through to the other side and they were chasing each other around.
Yeah. And Bridget's just started doing the breeding now for this year, so hopefully we'll be doing some more litters coming up.
Yep. So once the snow started to recede, we got on with building the chicken coop on the back of the chicken run, which was great because by then we'd obviously got all the belongings and we couldn't actually move in the shed.
And to give her a due, Bridget did most of the construction, to be fair. I did some of it and the heavy lifting, but all the nailing on, all the planks and everything, which is all still intact. She's becoming a real handy person, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's coming to her own.
Definitely.
And that's why we moved here, so that they could develop like that. You know, we had a postage stamp of a yard or garden in the UK, and out here, Bridget's up with the lark and out, and I'll hear the door go at early hours of the morning, and she's off out to do the chickens and do her chores, and huge, fantastic responsibility.
Yeah, she woke me up this morning going out to do the animals, and she didn't put the kettle on.
Okay, well, we need to discipline her then.
And once we'd done the chicken coop, we moved on to building the polytunnel, which was our biggest project, and that spanned over about 12 weekends really of work. We managed to get a old polytunnel that we dismantled and took down, so we did it really, really cheaply, reusing wood where we could, and it only cost us $600 in the end.
Yeah.
42-foot polytunnel by
Well,
14.
You should break that down a bit. It cost us $600, but like
350 was the plastic.
Yeah.
And
that was in the hike prices for where timber was extortionate, wasn't it?
Yeah. So our reason for doing the polytunnel was we have such a short growing season here that we wanted to be able to start plants off earlier. Unfortunately, it took us a while to get there because we also got meat chicks in May, and we had to build a chicken tractor. So we had so many different projects ongoing at the same time, and also we built a rabbit tractor so that we had the rabbits out on fresh grass, chickens on fresh grass. So the polytunnel was getting picked up and put down.
You'll have to excuse Etty cooking dinner off camera. That's sizzling away as our dinner.
So we're 10 days without power from Hurricane Fiona. Yeah. I feel like it's been a really, really busy first year, and we didn't necessarily have everything done at the right times or when we wanted them. So we didn't have the polytunnel early enough that we wanted, but it was such a big project. That's the way it was. So we didn't have the chicken plucking machine ready for the first lot of chickens.
We have the bits though.
We've
got
the bits.
all the stuff.
And we had so many, so we got on with other projects and went, well, we'll just do those by hand. We'll do it for the October lot. Well, then we had the hurricane, and guess what? We still didn't have the chicken plucking machine done.
We might do. If we get power back in the next day or two, I might whistle that up out of nowhere.
Yeah, so we're currently processing a few every couple of days, and
old school.
Yeah, old school, because obviously the freezer's running off a generator, so we don't want to put too much fresh meat into the freezer and overtax it too much. So, and also we don't have running water.
Well, it's not overtax it. It's the fact that we'd have to keep opening and shutting it, opening and shutting it, opening and shutting it. Yeah. At the moment, the freezer, everything in it is frozen, and there's a huge thermal mass of cold stuff, and I think the generator can just about keep up with it. So it's funny. It's funny how reliant we really are on things, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 days without power. It has made me want to be more self-sufficient than we are, to have a store of water and to have solar power.
Yeah.
Which again has always been in the plan, but it makes us realise how we might want to bring some things forward.
Yeah. Well, you've always wanted your range stove, wood cook stove.
Yep, I grew up with a Rayburn, and I like being able to just wake up, light the fire, put the kettle on the edge, and I like free hot water.
Yeah, so
free heating.
But I think a lot of people will make that comparison now. But the question is, do you want to do that? We don't have a lot of woodland, you see. So
no.
There's lots of dilemma. There's lots of things to discuss still.
But I think for the rest of 2022, we are going to be clearing trees every weekend until the snow, because we've lost over 20, I would say, easily over 20 trees. So yeah, mass clean up, clear up, and wood processing before the snow flies. A busy first year, but wow, we've done so much here that we couldn't have done where we were.
How much longer do these need to cook for?
So let's see what next year brings.
Let's go and have some dinner.
Let's go have some dinner. I'm getting cold now.
Do you want some more tea? Keep calm and carry on.
Thank you, darling.